Before we get into the video, I just wanted to state that this video is a list about park archetypes, but the gameplay is going to be Pro-Am gameplay just because right now Pro-Am is all I've really been playing and I got some pretty good clips. So I'm just going to have the Pro-Am gameplay in the background for you guys as we go over the top 10 park archetypes in the game. So yeah, just wanted to clarify that and hope you enjoyed the video. What's going on, YouTube? Hope everyone is having a fantastic day, man. Today we're talking about top 10 archetypes in NBA 2K18. Now this list is for the park and it is for 3-on-3. Obviously 2-on-2 you're gonna have a different list. You're gonna have a bunch of shot creator builds and stuff like that because you know, like playmaker shot creators are great on the 2s. I don't think they're that great on the 3s. This list is for 3-on-3 and is for the park. It is to win, not fun builds, not anything like that. If you're trying to, you know, just catch bodies on people, this is to win on the park. 3-on-3, top 10 most dominant builds. Okay, now obviously it's tough to compare like centers and guards and things like that, but this is my opinion. Everyone's opinion is going to be different, so leave your top 10 list down in the comments. All right, now let's get into my list. Before the video starts, if you are tired of grinding badges, make sure you hit up my boy Sports TNB. The link to his Twitter will be in the description. Tell him that I sent you and he will hook you up. You'll get your badges in a few days and you'll be good to go. Also, if you're looking to sell your account or buy a new account, he does account selling as well. So make sure you hit him up, tell him that I sent you, and he'll take care of you. Now, before we get into the list, make sure if you're new, you hit that sub button. Try to hit this 100,000 subscribers before NBA 2K19 comes out. We're less than 20,000 subscribers away, so let's make this happen. Now, let's get into it. Starting at number 10, I have a slashing shot creator. So primary shot creating, secondary slashing. The reason being, this build is so athletic and they can do everything. Depending on your wingspan, you get like a 77 open shot 3. So they can still shoot. You get contact dunks. You get difficult shots on gold. You can defend because of the size of the player. You know, you make them like 6'8". The size of the player and the athleticism. He can do everything, and people will often leave you open because they see slashing in your build. They're like, oh, he can't really shoot. But you have the shot creating in your build. Your three-pointer is almost an 80. It's a really, really effective all-around build, and I think it's really underrated, actually. Coming in at number 9, a sharpshooting rebounder. Now, you see this build on centers very often, and it is effective on a center. But I see this build in the stage, a 6'10 small forward sharpshooting rebounder, and goddamn, it's so effective because you're going against people playing the 2 position. They don't have, you have gold hustle rebounder, I believe, and they don't have anything. Plus, you're probably going to make them 6'10", and you're snagging. The center sharpshooting rebounder build is also really effective, obviously, because not only you can board, but you can shoot because you have those silver shooting badges. So all, you know, whether you go small forward or center, it's just a really, really effective build because the shooting combined with the rebounding is 2 of the most important things that go on in the park, and you can do both really well. Coming in at number 8, we have a rebounding athletic. Now, I like this build as the 2 position in the park combined with a stretch big at the 3. This is what I ran early on in the game for a little while, and it was really effective because that rebounding athletic, damn, do they catch, they just catch posters. They will, especially if they have a small player on them, if they're playing the 2 position in park, they just dominate the boards, and they are a big bailout at the end of a shot clock. You just throw it down, they get a contact dunk, and this build is a pretty popular build, so you can't call it underrated, but it is very, very effective. Coming in at number 7, we have a shot creating post scorer. Now, the reason I went with shot creating post scorer instead of a pure post scorer is they shoot better than a pure post scorer, but I feel they're better inside than a sharpshooting post scorer, if that makes sense. I just think a shot creating post scorer is the most versatile one-on-one inside build, if that makes sense. Like, for example, Stopped Ali plays with shot creating post scorer on the one-on-one court, and he's probably the best one-on-one player in this game. And the thing about shot creating post scorers is they also can get consistent green animations from the corner three-pointer. So it's like you can't stop them inside, but if you want to run like 3 out in the park, he can also consistently green 3s from the corner. So it's just a really, really versatile build. And if you need a bucket, you can go inside to a shot creating post scorer and they will not be able to be stopped one-on-one. So it's just a dominant build that causes tons of problems on the park. At number 6, we have a Sharpshooting Defender. Now, something you don't see a lot of on the park is defending builds, and they are very effective because if the other team has a ball handler that's tough to guard, having somebody with defensive stopper and pickpocket is really important to be able to contain that player and make it difficult for them. Also, you combine it with the sharpshooting so that on offense they're not a liability, they can shoot. But surprisingly, when you have defending in your build this year, it makes your player very athletic. The sharpshooting defenders, they get great animations when they drive or when they cut and catch the ball and go up to dunk. They're very explosive, they can shoot, and they have those defensive badges, which are very important to stop a good player on the park. At number 5, we have a slashing rebounder. Yes, my first build on this game, and I still think it's the most effective center build. You might argue a pure glass cleaner, and I would hear you on that, but I like the slashing rebounder just because its layups and dunks are a little bit higher, and I think the speed goes up a little bit higher than a pure post. And I mean, I'm sorry, than a pure glass. But the slashing rebounder is just a great bailout build because if you're running with 2 shooters, they're going to have games where they get a couple whites, and you got to be able to horse up. That Hall of Fame hustle rebounder can be a huge bailout, and it'll save you on the park sometimes when you might have lost a game. But since you have Hall of Fame hustle rebounder, you dominate the glass, you're able to get second shot opportunities, control the defensive glass, and you end up winning the game because of the rebounding and also the inside ability to finish around the basket. This build is very effective. At number 4, we have a pure stretch. A pure stretch, we all know, the most broken build in the game. They hit the fakest shots you've ever seen in your life. You could be right in their face and they still hit just because they're so tall and they get deep range dead eye and all those shooting badges. It's just pure cheese. Plus you combine them, you put on those cradle dunks so that if they push up too high on you this game, you just get a blow by animation and go to the cradle dunk and they really can't stop it. Pure stretch big coming in at number 4. At number 3, we have a pure point forward. Now this has to be a 6'10 build, 6'10 pure point forward. It's such a cheese build. Why? Because blow by animations combined with the ability to speed boost, just momentum behind the back and rim run, and you really can't stop this build. If you run this build at the point guard, you're going against somebody usually 6'5". You got a 5-inch advantage over them as a 6'10 pure point forward. You're probably going to be faster than them too, depending on who it is. And the pure point forward can shoot pretty well, honestly, too. That snatchback animation is so tough to guard, especially when you're worried about this dude rim running because he's 6'10" and he's half a foot taller than you. It's just a mismatch nightmare and can really carry a team. As long as you give him his space to work, you can run 3 out or pick and roll or pick and pop, whatever you want to do. As long as you run the right type of offense, a 6'10 pure point forward is just hella overpowered. Number 2, pure sharp. You can say, oh, pure sharp is easy to guard. Okay, but you have to realize what a pure sharp does. A pure sharp makes defenders guard them at half court, which it opens up the floor for everything else. Also, the reason why I put pure sharpshooter here is because this year they're able to shoot off dribble consistent from limitless. You have to realize how cheese that is on the park. And I know we've all played against it, but you got sharpshooters that just zigzag, come off a screen, shoot off dribble from limitless, and they can hit green consistent. That's tough to guard, and as cheesy and as unskillful as it might be, we're talking about builds to win, and every good team runs with a pure sharpshooter. Coming in at number 1, the most dominant, most overpowered, most important build on the park is a sharpshooting playmaker. Primary playmaker, secondary sharpshooter, the speed boosting build that gets gold playmaking badges, silver sharpshooter badges. Every Pro-Am team runs this at the point. Well, not every, but majority of Pro-Am teams run at this at the point. Majority of comp stage players that play stage all the time run this at the point guard. It can just do it all. It can 3 out. It can shoot from limitless. Most people run boosts on the ball handling and the sharpshooting. So you get an ankle breaker, you can shoot limitless consistently in green with this build. It's the one build in the game that it's like, how the hell do you guard it? How do you stop it? The way the animations and the gameplay is built in this game, this build is essentially unguardable. You can do your best, but if you're playing against somebody who knows what they're doing, it's going to be really tough to stop. And that's why Sharpshooting Playmaker comes in at number 1. Let me know your list down below. Let me know what you think of my list, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.